I'll be taking you through absolutely everything you need to know to master Survival Hunter in MoP or Mr. Pandaria Classic. So, starting off with the talents, they're not very exciting for us Survival Hunters, unfortunately. Post-haste on the first line is what we'll be going with, increasing your speed for 8 seconds when you use disengage. Second line, it's really all about utility. Intimidation is a stun. Within Sting puts your target to sleep for 30 seconds, and Binding Shot will kind of bind your target in place. I go for Within Sting because I find it has the most usability. Now, this third line is interesting. It's all defensives. One is Exhilaration, which is a 30% heal every 2 minutes. Or you can go for something like Aspect of the Iron Hawk, increasing your Aspect of the Hawk to also reduce your damage taken by 10% at all times. So, Aspect of the Hawk is the aspect you're going to be using at all times anyway, increasing ranged attack power by 35%. But with Iron Hawk, it also reduces damage taken. So basically what I'm saying here is you're choosing between a 10% constant damage reduction or every 2 minutes a 30% heal. Spirit Bond just gives you a little bit of passive health regen, but it's not really worth it. Dire Beast is the best one on the next line, which is a cooldown where you just summon a beast to attack your target and you gain some focus back, which is your main resource. A Murder of Crows, the same thing. It attacks your target for 30 seconds, use it on cooldown, and the same with Glaive Toss. You hurl some glaives at the target that reduce their movement speed, strike them a few times, and come back to you like a boomerang. On the Glyphs, we also don't do too well. Marksmanship Hunters win in this one. Survival don't get that much exciting. So what I would recommend going with on your major Glyphs is Deterrence, increasing the damage reduction granted by Deterrence by 20%. Normally, this is a defensive cooldown that gives you 30% damage reduction. With this, it's 50%. So it's this one here. You get 2 charges of it, reduces damage taken by 50%. The end, really. Glyph of Animal Bond, while your pet is active, all healing done to you and your pet is increased by 10% from all sources. This is actually a really, really good one that we use in all specs. So just a base flat 10% more healing from all sources. And then Glyph of Mirrored Blades is what I also go for on Deterrence again, where it's a tiny little bit of a DPS increase. It's quite negligible, but when attacked by a spell while in Deterrence, you have a 100% chance to reflect it back to the attacker. You could also go with something like Pathfinding, increasing the speed bonus of your Aspect and Cheetah. Cheetah and Pack aspects, but we're majorly using Iron Hawk anyway. The minor ones don't do that much really for you. So Aspect of the Cheetah, when you put this on, you run faster, but if you get hit, you're dazed, and this gets rid of the daze aspect. Whereas Aspect of the Pack is one that helps you in your entire raid go faster. However, it may not reach that far. Glyph of Aspect of the Pack increases the range. Regarding your pet's talents, it's changed in Mists of Pandaria, where now we have Ferocity, Tenacity and Cunning on all pets, and we can choose which one we want. You're going to be going with Ferocity for raiding and dungeons, as this gives the Rabid cooldown, which, as you can see, is toggled on. You can toggle it off and toggle it on automatically. When it's got the little glitter around it, it means that your pet will use it by itself, which is even easier, one less thing for you to think about. Heart of the Phoenix means your pet will come back to life once every 8 minutes immediately, and Dash will speed up your pet. All 3, what are they called? Specializations get combat experience, meaning your pet does more damage. Tenacity is good for questing and soloing mobs in the wild, etc. It's basically a tanking spec. And Cunning is more like PvP and stuff like this. I find it good for, but generally you're going to be going with Ferocity. For Mr. Pandaria Classic, I'm teaming up with Zygor to give you 20% off with code Javier. Zygor gives you the fastest and most efficient leveling experience. As you can see here, looking at killing snow leopards, I can even click all the different waypoint coordinates to see the fastest way to get to the different areas they may be in. It can also look at flight paths and show me which ways to go, including all of the different travel options. And when choosing quest rewards, it can even tell me which is the best upgrade for me. And this will be even spec dependent. I can click on the gloves, complete the quest, and then it will even tell me to equip them and shows me how much attributes and stats I will gain by equipping these items. Maybe even talents. I can use the talent advisor with Zygor, simply clicking that I want to be an Affliction Warlock, and it's going to configure it automatically to show me the best leveling build for Affliction for me. The fun doesn't stop there though, because it's available for SOD, Classic, Retail, Leveling. I can choose zones I want to go into, and it'll tell me how to get there and do all of the leveling in that zone, even if you're going back to old zones that you've leveled out of. Dungeons, dailies, events, reputation, gold making, professions, pets and mounts, and achievements. You can use as little or as much as you like. And don't forget, you can get 20% off with code Javier and battle past everyone at lightning speed in Mr. Pandaria Classic. Moving on to the actual rotation part, what I've got here at the top is the single target rotation, the changes we're going to make for the AoE rotation, and then all of our cooldowns and when to use them. So number 1, use your hunter's mark on the target before going into combat. This is going to be refreshed on your target by explosive shot. Yes, it lasts for 5 minutes, but if you change targets and use explosive shot, it will then move it onto that target for you, which is very, very nice. So this is going to increase how much ranged damage the target takes by all parties. Then we use Serpent Sting, and this is going to put a dot or damage over time on your target for 15 seconds. I think it's, 15 seconds. And this is actually going to be refreshed by your Cobra Shot, which can, FYI, be used while moving, but that's your lowest priority. But you do want to keep up Serpent Sting at all times, and again, it will be happening naturally by using Cobra Shot. Next thing is, we're going to be using Explosive Shot, and we're going to be using it on cooldown. You fire an explosive charge into the enemy, dealing fire damage, and every second, and applying Hunter's Mark. Now, there is a passive I want to talk to you regarding this. Lock and Load. You've got a 100% chance when you trap a target with freezing or freezing trap or ice trap, and a 20% chance when your black arrow, which is this one, deals damage to cause your next 2 explosive shots to cost no focus and trigger no cooldown. Meaning, sometimes when we use black arrow, we will get a free explosive shot. I'm just telling you, use explosive shot on cooldown, so whenever it comes off cooldown, whether that's naturally or because of your black arrow, then use it. After that, we're going to use Kill Shot. It's a pretty high... There you go. There's Lock and Load. So, lovely jubbly. We can use our explosive shots there. And this is actually going to really help when we're in AoE as well later. So, back to Kill Shot. Does a lot of damage. You can only use it on targets with less than 20% health. Use it on cooldown. And then Black Arrow, use this on cooldown as well. But only if the target will actually live for the full duration of it, because it will actually put a dot on them for 20 seconds. And your Lock and Load can be affected by the dot done by Black Arrow, not just when you fire Black Arrow. So what I would be doing right now is making sure I'm keeping my Serpent Sting, and then using my Explosive Shot onto the target on cooldown, then using Kill Shot if I can, then using Black Arrow. And then we're going to be dumping any focus that we have, any excess focus, with Arcane Shot. This is basically your main focus dump, so that we can just, dump all of our energy into something. And then if you've got nothing else to press, it's going to be Cobra Shot, which you can use while moving and will actually refresh your Serpent Sting. So really quite a simple rotation here. Keep up Serpent Sting, use Explosive Shot on cooldown, Kill Shot on cooldown, Black Arrow on cooldown as long as they can survive as long, use Arcane Shot to dump all your focus, and Cobra Shot if you've got nothing else to press, basically. And that is how we're going to do single target as a survival hunter. Cobra Shot will also generate some focus for you as well. If you are going to be doing AoE damage, we're just going to basically change a few things. Because of Lock and Load, let's get Lock and Load going, shall we? It does mean that on our Explosive Shot, we can use this on multiple targets sometimes. So let's say I've got 3 targets in front of me, and let's say Lock and Load procs. This is the bit where it now won't proc for ages, of course. There we go. So what I can do is I can put Explosive Shot on one target, tab to the other target and put Explosive Shot on there, and tab to the other target and put Explosive Shot on there, just to get some damage on all of them. What we're also going to do is replace using Black Arrow and instead use Explosive Trap. What you are going to want to do is use Trap Launcher. So you can see here that when I use Explosive Trap, it places it at my feet. If you toggle Trap Launcher, you will then actually instead get to launch your trap. So I click Explosive Shot and I can choose where to put it. And obviously you would fire that at wherever your enemies are to do AoE damage. And then as your main focus dump, you replace Arcane Shot with Multi-Shot, which is fires arrows at multiple enemies. And that is the only changes you will do when you have more enemies. So if you've got 3 enemies, you can obviously do the lock and load thing and use explosive trap. And if you've got 4 or more enemies, then I would start incorporating in multi-shot rather than arcane shot. Looking now at the cooldowns we have quite a few. I'm going to go through them one by one. A Murder of Crows, this is the one that sends all the crows onto your target for 30 seconds. It doesn't really impact anything else, so use it on cooldown. Dire Beast, same thing, use it on cooldown, where you've got a huge beast here that's going to be attacking your target. And the same with Glaive Toss on cooldown, which is only on a 15-second cooldown anyway. The bit where it gets interesting is going to be Rapid Fire. You don't want to use it with things like Heroism, Bloodlust, or Time Warp. It would just be, quite frankly, a waste. So do use it outside of those, but do use it when you're going to use your burst phase with, trinkets and potions, etc. And then we also have Stampede on a 5-minute cooldown. I would use this whenever you go into the fight. And if you can a second time, then do so. We have our defensive cooldowns, Camouflage, which if you stand still will camouflage you and stop you being targetable by attacks. And then we have Deterrence, which I spoke about earlier. We do have a lot of utilities at our disposal as a hunter. Wyvern Sting from the talents I mentioned earlier. We have a few oh my god, I can't speak. Interesting passives, like our Mastery, which increases all magical damage we deal. Serpent Spread, targets hit by your multi-shot are also afflicted by your Serpent Sting. So really interesting that when we use our multi-shot, what you'll notice is that all of them are affected by Serpent Sting. Hence why multi-shot is so good in a AoE environment. We actually gain some focus every time Serpent Sting deals damage as well, so that's a passive we have. And then we've got a few other utilities in here, like Concussive Shot, slowing movement speed, Counter Shot, really important, 20 to 4-second cooldown. It's an interrupt, so you can interrupt the enemy spellcasting, which is really important, especially in dungeons and on trash. Disengage, so you can disengage out, and of course if you took the post-haste talent, you will get an increased 60% movement speed after using it. Distracting Shot will distract the target to attack you instead of whoever. Feign Death, so that you can, pretend you can play dead, and then the enemies will actually mostly ignore you in most cases. Also using a Flare, which is really good at unveiling hidden or stealthed enemies. Master's Call will help you remove impairment effects. Misdirection moves threat to somebody else. Scare Beast is like a fear. Scatter Shot will disorient your target. Tranquilizing Shot removes enrage and magic effects from the enemy. And that's pretty much it. Oh, we also have the True Shot aura, which increases melee and range attack power for everybody in the party and raid. Moving on to the stat priorities you're going to be wanting. Number 1, agility, agility, agility. Higher and higher agility gives you more damage and crit chance. Pretty simple there. Next up, it's going to be hit rating and expertise. So hit rating, you want to get to 7.5% so that you do not miss. This is 2550 hit rating to hit the hit cap. And then expertise, also the same amount at 7.5. This is the chance for the enemy to actually dodge or parry your attacks. So you want that at 7.5 as well. That's your top priority after agility. After that, you're going to be wanting to go, I can't actually see it, crit chance. And then haste, which will increase your focus, regeneration, and attack speed. And lastly, your mastery, increasing magic damage you do. If you are wondering about mastery and saying, well, what does magic damage? It's pretty much all of your abilities, with the exception of your auto attacks and also your kill shot. One thing to mention on the hit and expertise, if you're a Draenei, you have heroic presence, and you only need 2210 hit rating rather than 2550. With the expertise cap, if you're a dwarf or troll, because of your crack shot and deadeye, you only need 2210 expertise rating rather than 2550. But apart from that, it's pretty straightforward. Finally, looking at gems, profession, and the pets as well. Don't forget the pets. We have the Agile Primal Diamond on the meta slot. If you're having issues with the expertise cap, there are gems that can help you with the precise primordials. Otherwise, if you're not having issues, then go the delicate. On the yellow, this is interesting, right? What I'm saying here is if the socket bonus for a yellow gem is plus 60 mastery, then you're actually better off by putting a red gem in your yellow socket and getting more agility. If the socket bonus is plus 60 agility or more, then just go with a Vermilion Onyx. Because what I'm saying is the 60 agility that you'd get, sorry, the 60 mastery you'd get, for instance, in your yellow slot is not worth putting a yellow gem in there over just putting a red gem in there. But if we're getting agility from the socket bonus anyway, then yeehaw, we can add even more by getting that socket bonus plus the better yellow gem. Same with the hit cap on the blues. There's rigid ones, etc. for hit cap. Otherwise, go with glinting in your blue slot. Enchants, shoulders you can buy. Inscription have a bonus one. Accuracy, again, on the back if you need it. Otherwise, it's going to be critical strike. And there's sword guard embroidery if you're a tailor, which gives you a ton of attack power. Glorious stats on the chest, greater agility on the wrists, fur lining if you're a leather worker, and you can also add an extra socket if you're a blacksmith, adding another gem into your wrists and also onto your gloves. Expertise if you need it, again on the hands, and then haste or mastery, depending on which one you're going for at that time, on your hands. And then on the waist, everyone can put on a living steel belt buckle, shadow leather leg armor, but if you are a leather worker, then primal leg reinforcements. I don't know why I just said that as a robot. No, my friend just texted me and it's his first day at his new job today, so he's having a lovely day and he just texted me to let me know. So I just saw that pop up. So I do know why I said it like that, actually. It was all a lie. Boots is blurred speed, and if you can't afford that, then it's greater haste. So maybe you need a new job too in World of Warcraft if you can't afford the enchant you want. If you're an enchanter, you get 2 greater agility ring enchants, and then it's Lord Blastington's Scope of Doom on the weapon. Regarding what profession you actually want to take, a lot of them give 320 agility. Blacksmithing, jewel crafting, alchemy, enchanting, engineering, and inscription all do. Leatherworking actually gives you 330 agility. And again, the sword guard embroidery gives you about 1,000 plus attack power on average, which is obviously fantastic. And then herbalism gives you lifeblood. So these are the best these are the best professions I would recommend. It's completely up to you. They're all very, very similar. Lastly, for your pets, they all add different things, but a lot of them don't stack with other things. And because the talents, you can use whichever talent tree you want with any pet, it's not as important in Mists of Pandaria. Like a serpent is good. It increases the melee and attack range speed of all party and raid members by 10%, but doesn't stack with these things. You can use a spore bat, which does it by 5%, but doesn't stack with these. A wolf is really good, increasing crit chance of everyone. But if you have leader of the pack and things like that, it doesn't also stack with those. So it really is going to depend. In a raid, you're probably going to have most things anyway, so take whichever pet you want. But these are the ones here I would recommend. And that's it, guys. That is how you play Survival Hunter in Mists of Pandaria MoP Classic. Hopefully this has been useful for you. If it is, please do subscribe and leave a thumbs up. And if you hated it, then leave a thumbs down. Do check out the Patreon if you'd like to get my LVI profiles and things like that. And I can also give you any advice for our VIP Discord channel, which obviously helps support the channel if you do wish to. And if you want to get Zygor, I do really recommend it. It's honestly my favourite add-on in the world. It makes everything so much easier. Then you can get 20% off with code Javier, and there is a link in the description for that for you as well. Do check out the playlist on screen, as I have done an insane amount of Mists of Pandaria Classic guides for you all.